Waking up, waking up to Juice Radio. Kool-Aid in my cup. Check out my melody. Check out my melody. Y'all don't get it, forget it. What up, melody? Radio for indie or industry, R&B, EDM or MCs. Hip hop, send in your MP3s, EP singles or full CDs. Straight to rotation, cut loose. What's that radio station? The Juice. Hey, this is Kool-Aid. And when I'm in Minnesota, I listen to the radio station, The Juice. Like you should.
Yeah. I like that. Look, get up on my face with the bullshit. I don't wanna hear about your new chick. Where you been at? Who you cool with? Cool it. That ain't my business. Why you always tripping? Say it's not you. Well, who the hell is it? Falling all over the place and all that makeup over your face won't cover up all your mistakes. She don't give a damn. It's 20 in the pocket and her friends are going out and she'll be damned if she just watch it. Take a picture then she post it to a story. Felt cute, might delete it in the morning. Damn, and I be black before you know it. She blacking out the night, the only proof is what she posting. And every weekend at the same damn time. Before you know it, she'll be blowing my line. Telling me she hate me, she already replaced me. And damn, I thought that was the end, but
that was just a pregame, headed to the weekend, headed off the deep end. Do we sink or swim? Do we sink or swim? That was just a pregame, headed to the weekend, headed off the deep end. Do we sink or swim? Do we sink or swim?
Please don't call my phone no more. I don't care what you need. Orange juice and tequila, only chase you see from me.
Do we sink or swim? Do we sink or swim? Do we sink or swim? Do we sink or swim?
Look, we on the snap like shout out to my exes. Before you know it, I'll be sending drunk texts. The liquor talking and the drinks are steady pouring. And everything I say, I'm gonna regret it in the morning. Damn, I do this every single time. Blowing up a line, I just hope she hit the climb. But she telling me she hates me, she already replaced me. And damn, I thought that was the end, but
that was just a pregame, headed to the weekend, headed off the deep end. Do we sink or swim? Do we sink or swim? That was just a pregame, headed to the weekend, headed off the deep end. Do we sink or swim? Do we sink or swim?
C Nova, sink or swim, right here on the Juice, y'all. Peace. Good evening to everyone. Gratitude for being here. Peace to you, Mary. I hope you are well, goddess. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? I'm so happy to see y'all. I'm grateful to be here. You know, I wanted to talk to y'all about unity tonight because I don't know if y'all are paying attention, but we live in a world. Well, you can see what's going on. I don't need to talk about it. I'd rather not say the words out loud, actually. You know, just off pure energetic purposes. I'd rather not say the words out loud. But so it's a really great time for us to join our forces, to find our communities, and to have this, like, you know, this village. We got to get back to the village. Like, you know, we used to be that way. We used to know our neighbors. We used to be close to our community members. We used to have a family within our community. Like, our community was a family. It wasn't like now where people don't even know each other. So it's probably not like if someone lives next to someone for a really long time, you know, they probably eventually get to know one another, but people are not connected like they used to be. And so this is a problem, actually, and it's by design. You know, people who are divided and at odds at all times are less inclined to rise against anything or to question too much or to fight back against any kind of tyrannical behaviors. So, having the community and bringing people together and having that network is more powerful because people are more inclined then to have this sense of like security and safety, confidence, to where they can stand on their beliefs, their values, things of that nature. And that is exactly why they have broken up the family, the community, the village type of living, is for that exact reason, because of the power that we hold when we unify, when we come together. And the world it's a place that is it's unlimited, we can say that. So having people that you can depend on and who have different skill sets than you, that is beneficial in many ways, short term and long term. And so building community is something that I feel like everyone should do on whatever scale they can or whatever scale calls them and that they feel comfortable in. But at least even if you just have a small community of people, you just need a handful of good people that that each of you can rely on one another. But man, if we can get some community gardens going, we don't have to be out in the country. There's ground everywhere. There's soil everywhere. We can put boxes up. We can build greenhouses. People have these skills. And as a community, we have become too reliant on outside entities, and not enough reliance is on each other. And again, that was by design. That was why they broke up. That was why they broke us up, because then we don't have each other to rely on. People are more inclined to be like, oh, I don't want to talk to that person because I don't know them, or they don't look like me, or they don't shop at the same places or I do, or whatever. People divide themselves because people find a million ways to divide themselves. So, well, I should say people have been given a million ways to divide themselves. So forming communities of like-minded people, it doesn't have to be something major. You don't have to go out and buy land, although personally that would be I would love to have that. That's my goal. But you don't have to have that as a goal. You can stay inside the city and still build community and still grow food with your community and teach your children and have parenting co-ops and help the community members around you, these types of things. This is our power. We have a lot of power when we band together and we join together. And we need to do that everywhere. We need to have people in the city that are building community. Not everybody has a want, a desire, or the ability to live outside of the city grounds. Some people need to be there for whatever reason they need to be there or want to be there. And so, community is important everywhere. And we're building a grid, man. I know I've said this before, but if it's your first time tuning in, hey, I'm Melody Waters. Peace to you. I should turn my caption off for a minute so you guys can see my name. In case you don't know, now you know. We're building a grid, so we need anchors all over the world, even in the city, in the country, in the city, of every country and city, everywhere. So your role is important no matter where you are. But there is an urgency to this because the number on the timer was 10:19, which is 9/11 backwards when I said that. Hilarious. um, so there is a bit of an urgency to this because it takes time to build relationships. It takes time to build community, to get to know one another and feel comfortable with one another and be able to feel like you can trust and rely on one another. Also to understand one another's skill sets and things like that. And, how you can work together and best support one another. So the sooner that you begin, the better. And, we have village meetings on Thursdays. So I'd love to have you come through this Thursday. We're at Brookdale Library. If you're in Minnesota, come on through and hang out with us. Find some other community members, find your village, find other people that think like you think or want what you want as well, or close to, you know what I mean? They may not check all the boxes, but as long as people check enough boxes, then we can have communities at least start. It starts somewhere. It's about beginning. But yeah, if you're in the city and you want to build community, do that. There's plots of land that used to have buildings on them or used to have parking lots on them, that those things have been demolished and torn down and taken apart or taken away, and now it's just gravel or dirt or just grass, and it's chilling. It's an empty lot, man. Like, talk to the city and find out what's going on with that. Some of those things are just sitting there with nothing to do, and they have no plans for them. So maybe you can have a plan for it and start a community garden. I don't know the ins and outs of that, so I cannot give you a whole lot of details on that, unfortunately. But I can say that there are people who do know. And if you're a community member who knows stuff about that, please drop the information that you have or any links you want to share in the comments so other people can see it and do their own research, check into it, and possibly, get into one of these spaces and have a community garden, or maybe they can build on it, or take one of these buildings that are out here that are empty. We've got so many empty spaces that can be utilized in proper ways. It's like they're just waiting to buy stuff up so they can just put bullshit in there, and we can put us in there. We can put us in there, our businesses, our, parent co-op centers where parents teach the children. You guys, getting our kids out of these indoctrination centers is fucking imperative. It's super important. It's like detrimental. It's critical at this point. I don't know how we've gone this long with having our kids in these places in the first place, but I do also get how they got us. Putting both parents out of the home. If the parents are even together, let's just even say that, because they really don't even watch all together. But if you're going to stay together, then you're both working, because you're not going to have one of you in the home raising your children. What? No. We want someone else raising your children, hopefully traumatizing your children. That's the name of the game. So instead, there are alternatives, y'all, for homeschooling your kids. If you're not able to, because say you're a single parent, or say you do live in a household that you do have to have 2 incomes, or feel the need to have 2 incomes, that's y'all's business. But what I'm saying is that there are alternatives to homeschooling your children yourself. And also, let's be real. Some people are like, hey, my kids will not listen to me like that. Or I'm not well versed in X, Y, and Z type of things to teach my children this. Not everyone is well versed in science or math or, fill in the blank. So that's totally understandable. And that's why I'm like a huge advocate for parent co-ops and and parents getting together and saying, hey, I'm good at art, or hey, I'm good at science, or hey, I'm a math freaking wizard. Like, great, thanks. You teach the kids math on Thursdays, and you take the kids, you come in on Wednesdays and teach the kids, science, and you come in on Tuesdays and we'll do like, math and reading, or whatever the case may be. It's something that's doable. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's doable. It's just about finding the right connections and people that you feel like you can trust. And again, these things take time. So the sooner we begin, the better. But there are plenty of ways and spaces out here that we can take advantage of and utilize to create a better life for us and our future. Our children are the future, man. Like, if we want to do better by anything, we got to do better by them, because they are the ones that we're leaving everything that we're dealing with right now. Like, we don't want to leave worse to them, or leave them in a state of not being able to know what they're getting themselves into. That's one thing that I don't know if y'all out there experienced this growing up, but like for myself, I feel like a lot of things I wasn't taught. Like, no one taught me that. No one showed me this. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that like our parents didn't really teach us. They just expected us to figure it out or already know it. You know what I mean? And it's like, so a lot of us just went out in the world like, well, figuring it the fuck out. Like, and there's pros and cons to that. I guess the pros in that could be that, we're great problem solvers. We'll figure it the fuck out. Many of us have that thing where it's like, yo, I don't know how I'm gonna make this shit happen, but I'm make it the fuck happen. So I'm gonna make it happen. Because we were put in situations so many times that it was like, I don't know how to handle this, and I don't have this skill set. So it's crash course and make it happen. But they do say that necessity is the mother of invention. So, again, there are some positives to that way of having to figure life out. But imagine if you could teach your children everything that you learned in those crash courses now, so that your children start at your level of experience. I mean, obviously they don't have the experiences, and there's still going to be some of a learning there, but imagine if you can give them the knowledge, so when they face those things, they're like, hold on a second. They have this little nugget that they can pull out of wisdom that you bestowed upon them. Do you see what I'm saying? So I guarantee you can remember if you were bestowed little nuggets and gems of knowledge. Oh, I remember my granny used to say, I remember my auntie used to, if you were bestowed little nuggets of knowledge ever in your life, I promise you remembered them when you needed them. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of that wisdom that people passed on. And again, this goes back to the village and the community, and why it's so important that we come together and we unify. Our power is unstoppable together. And they know that. That's why they divide us at every turn they possibly can. Every turn. They will have you hating your neighbor because he likes a different football team. Let that sink in for a second. What? Are you kidding me? Yo, y'all. Like, snap out of it. Snap out of the illusion. So, yeah. Snap out of it. Because if we can teach our children now the things that we had to go through so much to gain that experience, imagine that when they face that, they're going to be like, I know what to do. And I'm not even going to entertain X, Y, and Z, because I know what the outcome of this scenario is, and it's not pretty. So instead, I'm going to choose a different route. And then when they choose a different route, man, it just simplifies the path. What's wrong with simplifying the path? Why 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 must the path be rugged and untraveled and rough? Does it need to be rough? Or and hear me out. Can we simplify the path for our future so that they can go further and be greater? So they can do better than we did. So they can be better than we can be in the time we have allotted. You know? And then, oh my gosh, peep this though. So then if we change our next generation to be better than us, because we give them the wisdom that we've went through and gotten, we give them that wisdom, then imagine they're greater, and then their offspring is even greater, because then now they're able to pass down not only the wisdom that you gave them, but also the next level of wisdom that they were able to obtain, because they didn't need to go through all the shit you had to go through. They didn't have to learn all those lessons, because when that lesson approached them, they knew what the fuck to do with it. Oh my gosh, pass that on. Then the next generation is going to have all that wisdom plus what your great grandkids, you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's how we really win. That's how we really win. And that's why us doing things like making the small steps, like building community amongst one another, getting our villages back, getting back to that tribal village mentality that we have innately inside of us. All of us have that. We all really, even if we're loners, we still have a yearning for other people's energy and other people, being around other people or participating in some way, even if it's just sitting off in the corner by yourself and just being in the distance in your own space, but around other people. You see what I'm saying? Like, we all have that innate like want and desire to be around other humans. And they're trying to take that away from you. And I'm just going to give you a couple of examples that come to me as they come to me. And the first one is that era we all call the C word. You know what I'm talking about without saying it? Trying not to get flagged on that stuff. So they have a tendency to try to shut your girl up. You know what I mean? They don't like truth speakers. And I don't give a fuck. So in that era that we all call that word now, they wanted people separated from one another. You see, we all have this like field around us, this aura field around us, this energy field around us, and it's about 6 feet around you. Shocking, right? I know. Isn't it weird that they wanted you to be at least 6 feet apart? Because our energies aren't touching anymore. Because when you're that close to somebody, you may not be touching them physically with your body, but your energy outside of the body, the aura field, which is really you, it's your energy, it's you, is touching other people when they're close to you. If they're within 6 feet of you, your energy fields are literally like, what is that called? Is that a Venn diagram that it's called, where it's like the circles that like start intertwining with each other and they create like one of these things in the center? Am I doing this right? Like this, they create in the center. Your energy is literally intertwined like that. So now imagine when you're standing in the line at the store, for example, you're in line at the store. Look at you're creating a linked chain of energy. You're linked to every single person in that chain because your energies are like, do you see what I'm saying? Like swirling within one another. Like they're all connecting to one another. So their energy is able to like feel each other, read each other, learn each other, like feel warm and comforted by each other because we're humans. And well, we're I shouldn't even say humans because animals are this way. We're alive entities. You see what I'm saying? We're energy fields, we're energy entities, energy beings. Like this is how it's like our oneness. We want to be connected because we are all one. I posted this thing on Facebook today. I don't know who got to see it, but this person described similar to how I describe what we call God or source or consciousness or the universe. Everybody has a different term for what they use for that which is us all. And so, whatever, we don't judge here. Wherever you are in your path, that's where you are and that's where you're supposed to be. So we love that for you. Hang on one second. I lost what I was saying. I hate when that happens. Well, maybe I was supposed to not talk about that. So, but yeah, our auras are supposed to touch. We're supposed to connect with one another. It's important because all energy beings connect with one another. It's just like our innate. Oh, that's what I was talking about. The Facebook post. And it was talking about, how God, we'll just use God for a universal term so everyone can understand what we're saying and understand it. Okay, so God we'll call is like a ball of dough. Well, they used Play-Doh, but I always say dough, like bread dough. You know what I mean? And like each of us is a pinch off of that ball. So we are that. We're a piece of that. You see what I'm saying? Inside of a body. And so you have this like field, and we're all like that. That's animals too, and even trees and grass and butterflies and all of that. So as energy beings, we innately have this. Is longing a good word? I don't know if it's longing so much as it's just like a desire. And I guess it is a longing, a desire, whatever word you think fits best for you. But we want to be one. We want to be in one another's energy. And so, I mean, they know that. They obviously know that. They know way more about things than we even do because we're really just cracking codes and breaking spells and learning so much right now in this age of Aquarius because the truth is being revealed on all levels, and it's so beautiful because some of us have known a lot of these truths our since uh um our arrival to Earth. And so it's like really beautiful to see so many awakened people being activated, and it's awesome. I love it. It's amazing. So it's super important that we start coming together. So I know some of you might even who are becoming like who are awakening to all of these things. This might be a little creepy and a little scary and a little daunting and a little intimidating and a little like what the fuck and unbelievable even in some ways. And it's okay to feel that way. It's it's okay to feel that way. Don't beat yourself up for that. Give yourself grace and give yourself patience because as you go, what you need to be revealed to you will be revealed to you. And as the saying goes, which by the way, all those cliche sayings are so legit. It's crazy. Like as the saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And that's so, so true. Um, it's so true. You will have revealed to you what you need or what you're ready for when you're ready for it, when you need it, when it's going to be most beneficial for you. Because imagine if you learned something that you weren't ready for, it would be overwhelming or too much, or you may not even be able to comprehend what it was that you're learning. If you're not in a space to where you can take that knowledge in and you're not ready for that, you're not ready to expand your awareness to that, or you're not ready to accept that, then that knowledge would be lost on you. Now, there's a flip side to that, because there's always a flip side. I'm one of those people that can like see both sides of things. So there's a flip side to that. And that flip side is that a seed has been planted. So even if you're not ready, and even if some of the things I say are like, what the fuck to you, or like way out there in left field, a seed has been planted. And so um if in this lifetime it's right for you, that seed will blossom. And I love that for you. I love that for you. And if you're already with me, then you already know what it is. I try to help people at all levels, because I've been there. You know what I mean? I've been there. And it can be kind of it, it can feel like a lot. It can feel like a lot. It's not a lot. It just feels like that because you're expanding. And expansion is a little uncomfortable sometimes, you know? Think about it like have you ever had a water balloon before, and like you wanted to blow the water balloon up instead of putting it in the water, right? It's kind of really hard to blow up a water balloon, right? Like, but if you stretch the water balloon a little bit, and you get it stretched in all these different ways a little bit, then you can blow that little water balloon up, right? But it takes pressure, and it takes stretching, it takes expansion in order to blow that water balloon up with your own breath, you know? And even with the water has to stretch and expand that balloon. So, in order to grow, there has to be a little pressure applied, and a little growth, a little stretching, a little expansion. And sometimes that's a little uncomfortable, or a little awkward. And that's okay. It's okay. You're going to get through it. I promise you will. I promise you will. Even in the darkest moments that seem the toughest, like, you will get through it. You will get through it. It will pass. It's only a moment in time. It's just a glimpse. It's literally just a glimpse. As a matter of fact, when you're feeling the lowest, I want you to just like let that wash over you. And I want you to just like acknowledge it. I want you to let it be felt and seen and heard. I want you to ask it why it feels that way. Like, where is it coming from? What is it rooted in? What is the memory? What is the trauma? How can you help? How can you heal it? And I want you to just allow it to be, because sometimes that's all it really needs, is just to be felt. You know, people who think they have chronic depression, a lot of those people are actually processing traumas that they don't even know exist. A lot of those people are processing traumas that may not even be their own traumas that they've endured, but that traumas that were passed down to them, or karmic traumas that they're enduring because of something that one of their ancestors did. So a lot of people who have this like who have a lot of depression are actually processing traumas that they have no idea about. So, and here's the thing, and I know I already can hear you saying, like, I don't want to hear that shit. I know you don't want to hear that shit. But what I'm going to tell you is that the reason that you are experiencing that is because you can. It's because you're able to hold the space for that. It's because you are strong enough to endure that and process and transmute that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have experienced it. You wouldn't have taken it on. And I say that because you did take it on. I know it might sound crazy, but you didn't take it on like physically here while you were on this earth, like, oh, I feel like I want to fucking just take on a bunch of traumas. No, you wrote contracts for that shit. And or sometimes you said, okay, well, I'm gonna take this trauma from my grandma doing this, that, and the third, and I'm gonna transmute that for her. You do that for your bloodline, like, but it's not your bloodline. We call it our bloodline, but in all reality, we are all one bloodline. Like, we are all one. So, I mean, your bloodline is my bloodline. So we are really just transmuting energy out here like a motherfucker. Like, this whole entire earth, like, every human that and entity that has ever stepped foot on this earth is our ancestor. And we are all made from the dirt. So everything is your ancestor. So, like, we are just out here transmuting energy. And if you're out here now in this world and you are going through these types of things, like, it's because you're a warrior and you were sent here to be able to do that. Mama Gaia is a transmuter. Look at all the shit that she endures. She transmutes energy. Look at what she endures. Damn. Love you, Mama. Gratitude. So I say all that to say this, and that is, you got this. You can do this. And you're not alone. You don't have to be alone. We have people that can help you. There's independent people who do therapeutic healing, who do energy healing, who do, coaching of different kinds, whether it's healing or, business wise. But we're talking about some healing shit, I guess. So we go stick to that. There's actually a gentleman who watches the show and is, he is a coach, Andy, and actually, I wish I could tag people in this shit. If you look, somebody tag Andy, because he is a coach and he helps people get through things like this. I don't label myself as that, but I also help people with this type of stuff too, because of all the things that I've been through in my own life and that I've healed from, and the energies I've transmuted through, and the experiences that I've had as well. So, that's part of my human design, is to go through things, learn shit from it, and then teach others. And so, which, by the way, if you don't know your human design, like, I would love to do a show about human design, because it's such a dope tool. I'm going to call it that, because that's really what it is. It's such a dope tool to learn about yourself. So if you're ever curious to know anything about human design, like, there's a website called Jovian Archive. It's Jovian. Matter of fact, hang on. Let me just type it in for y'all real quick. jovianarchive.com. And that site will, I don't know why I put it as the ticker. Y'all, seriously. Matter of fact, hang on, let me. You can go there and put in your birth information, like where you were born and what time you were born. And they will give you a chart that says, like, it says a whole bunch of shit. It says a bunch of shit, but it will tell you about yourself. It will tell you, like, how you work, how you learn, how you relate to other people, how you process things. Like, it tells you so much information. I would say it's comparable to an astrology birth chart, but it's just a different aspect of it. And it's a little more, it's a little more simplified. It's a little less complex, although it has its own complexities. It's not as yeah. Astrology is something I've always loved, and I've always wanted to, like, know more about. I don't know how y'all feel about that. If you know a lot about astrology and you have any tricks and tips for me on how I can learn more about it, like, please drop them for me, because I love astrology, but it is complex, bro. Holy shit. I literally had my birth chart done, and I started, like, going over each, like, thing, And there's so much craziness. It's so complex to it. But so human design is similar in that way where it has its own complexities, but it doesn't have as many variables. Like it doesn't have like, well, actually it does have some variables too, but I feel like it's not as complex as astrology, but I'm saying that as a newbie. So, and I've been learning for the last like few years. And I still consider myself a newbie because that's just how those types of things work. But so somebody who's like a super guru in astrology and human design might be like, girl, what are you talking about? That shit's just as complex. And maybe it is. So I might just be talking out my neck. But I will say that it feels less complex. When you're reading about it, it feels like it has like a lot of the sustenance to tell you like what these things really mean for you. Although there are some things that you kind of have to do a little research on. I will say that it is really interesting. It's really, really, really interesting. So if you find that kind of stuff, like if you're intrigued by that kind of stuff, check out the jovianarchive.com, put in your birth information and find out what you are. If you do it while we're here on this live, I would love for you to tell me what you are. It would be so dope if you dropped it in the comments because I think that type of stuff is so intriguing. I'm a 3-5 manifester. If anyone knows anything about human design, or you go look it up if you're interested. But that kind of stuff is really cool to me. So anyways, finding that kind of information out though can really help you in how you go about life, because that's another thing too that we have had demonized is astrology and like these human design and these other pathways that so many different cultures have had for eons on how we find out how we are, like how we learn about ourselves through our own in our own journey, and what where we would best be successful and how we can best be successful. They demonized those types of avenues and made us like not want to do them, because if we did them then we were somehow defying God or being trying to be too godlike. And if you were here earlier, like, bro, we are God in a body. What do you mean? So, like, huh? Wouldn't you want to know how you can be most successful in your path? Like, if you are a soul inside of a body, you have a mission. You're here for a reason. Like, you actually have you come here to learn something. You came here with a curriculum. You came here to do something. So, like, wouldn't it be beneficial to have a fucking roadmap or a blueprint on how we can be the best us, like, in all the things and actually know what we're supposed to be fucking doing? Because I don't know about y'all, but I spent a lot of years of my life like, what the fuck am I even supposed to be doing? Like, what are we here for? Like, I'm somebody who's always been like, why are we here? What's the point of life? What the fuck is going on? Like, why do people do this? Why do people act that way? Why do humans like I am the why machine because I am about to ask a million whys, and I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. I think people should question everything. Look, even something I tell y'all. Look, I don't care if your mother told you, go do your own research. Always, 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 always do your own research. Because you're going to find what resonates for you, because my path is not your path and your path is not mine. So what resonates for me may or may not resonate for you. Sometimes it's going to, and that's lovely. And sometimes it's not, and that's lovely too. Because again, you have to live what you're here to live. We each have a mission. We each have our own goals. We each have our own skill sets. We each have our own strengths, our own weaknesses. We all have all of these things for a reason. There's a reason that you are the way you are, that you think the way you think, that you love what you love, that you don't like what you don't like, yet you fear what you fear. You know? None of that is by accident. It's all by design. So if we could utilize that type of shit, man, again, that goes back to the same thing I said about teaching your children your wisdom and the things that you have learned in this world. Is because imagine if you have a blueprint about your own life and who you are. Oh my gosh. I remember the first time I started reading my astrology shit, I bawled. I was like, tears, snot, tears. Yeah, like I was literally reading about myself and I was like, how do you know? How did you know? How do you know? How do you know? Because wow, holy fuck. And then the more in depth you get in astrology, the more you're like, damn, because it starts to unlock shit about you that you always knew but maybe sidestepped or maybe doubted, um or maybe you really didn't know but you had an idea or something attracted you to certain things, and then come to find out, lo and behold, go look at your astrology chart and you start finding out you got mystical fucking placements and shit, and you're like a whole high priestess in this motherfucker. Like, what? Like, damn. I know I look like this on the outside type shit. Motherfuckers be whole unicorns or whole fucking dragons, like dragon energy in this motherfucker, walking around in human form. Look, look. Find out that you're a leader. Find out that you're supposed to be, for myself, I found out I was supposed to be building community, which is crazy because I've always been drawn to building community. That's my strength, apparently. So I intend to do just that. I know, amongst other things. There's a lot. There's a lot. It's intricate. There's a lot. Go look at your shit, bro. If you're somebody who grew up in the church or somebody who has had that demonized, and so you've always been like da 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 da, I can't do that, da 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 da. Bro, I'm here to tell you right now, and I don't mean to red pill anybody, but I'm here to tell you right now, like, you've been being lied to, man. You've been flat the fuck out being lied to. And I'm talking about like the lionest of lies. The lionest of lies. They lie about every motherfucking thing. Like pretty much everything that you've ever known to be a fact. The word fact. I don't even like the word fact anymore because the word fact is like something that can be changed or is subjective, where truth is, regardless of what the fuck you think about it. You know, but they've been giving people facts for a long time that aren't truth. And so when you can start seeing past that, you can win. And that's what they don't want. That's why, again, they demonized it. That's why they told you in the church that if you get into astrology, you are going against God and it's blasphemy. You'll go to hell for that shit. You're finna burn in the fiery pits of hell, which I don't want to bash anybody's beliefs, and I really don't. But I would love to expand your mind a little bit and in hopes that you can see that it's not your fault that you were being lied to. And that there is so much more to this world and to this universe and to us than they really want you to know. And that was all by design to keep you small. Because if you expanded yourself to who you really are, they can't control you. They can't control you. And if there's enough of us like that, game over. The game is over. The table's tipped. That shit's done. It's donezo. You done. It's over with. It's over with at that point. Y'all ever seen that meme where there's like people hunched over and there's like a board game on top of them. And that's exactly it. Like, stand the fuck up and that shit is over with. Imagine if we all stand the fuck up. See, they don't want you to have a free thinking mind. That's why they try to, inject you with a bunch of poison and feed you a bunch of poison and, radiate you with a bunch of poison and, man, the list goes the fuck on. Let's just say that. But the list goes on, man. It's like I don't know if the numbers go that high of all the shit that they were just trying to do to people to keep them small, to keep them low vibrational, to keep them not remembering who the fuck they are. But you're going to remember who you are if you don't already. I promise you that. And when you do, you're just going to add to the crew. And once there's enough of us, it's game over. And they know that. So they do everything in their power to try to keep you controllable, programmed, conditioned, like puppets. TV, music. Oh my God, y'all. Music, man. I've been talking about this. And I remember when I learned about it, it was like 2008, 2009. I learned about what was really going on in the music industry and what was really happening with music, what they were really using music for and how music was being created. And I was hurt. I was hurt. I was shooketh. I was confused. I tried to like, ain't no way you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, but then I went down my own rabbit holes and I did my own research and it was no way to deny it anymore. There was no denying what I was seeing. I could not deny the evidence right before my very eyes. You see? And see, once people start seeing that and becoming like that, you become awakened to everything. You start to see all the lies. Then you start to be like, so that's why. Because I see, I've been this way since I was a kid. I was born awake to all the shit. I didn't necessarily know what it was I was seeing or feeling or what it was I was understanding without knowing what it was. But there was a lot of shit that I knew innately. And as I got older, it started to unfold like, oh, that's why I always acted that way. Oh, that's why I used to think like that. Oh, that's why I used to say that. Oh, that's why I used to not like those motherfuckers. That's why I used to not trust those motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about when I say those motherfuckers. I'm talking about them. The powers that wish they could be. Because innately, I always had that in me. And so later on down the line, learning about all of these things, that like, I used to love music. And don't get me wrong, I still love music. Music is dope as fuck. I love music. Music is a huge part of my life. But I had to shift what I allow myself to consume because of the effects that it has on these bodies and these energies that we are, the energies we are and the bodies we have. Everything is energy, even the body. It looks like this, but this motherfucker is just code. This is code. Everything is code. So learning that type of stuff will change your perspective, and changing your perspective allows you to make different choices in this world. You see, they don't want you to think that way though. So they're going to try to fear you. They're going to try to, which sadly, religion, and I went through my own phases with religion too. So that's why I say I don't judge anybody, because you may believe one belief now, but if you allow yourself to have an open mind and you allow yourself to, learn and expand your awareness, you will come to find that you can jump from one religion and try that out and then see if that doesn't resonate with you, try another religion. And if that doesn't resonate with you, try another religion. And if that doesn't resonate with you, go within. Or maybe skip all that and just go within. You know, because here's the thing that you will find, because I myself did this. I'm speaking from experience. See, one thing about me is I'm not going to just sit here up here and talk shit to y'all. I'm going to either speak from experience, from my own life, things that I've seen, things I've witnessed, things that I have been a part of, things that I have endured, or things that I have learned because I have done the research and gained the knowledge. And so, one thing that I have found is that when you allow yourself to expand your awareness and you allow yourself to test out different things, and I think it's good. That's good to allow yourself to say, okay, I tried this religion. Let me go see this one. Let me go see what this one is about, because I'm actually a little interested about this idea that they have. They have this ideology, and I'm interested in that, and I'm curious to see more about it. Does that mean you have to leave your current religion? I don't think so. Why? Who said you have to? You can learn about other things and experience other things. Like, you could be a Christian and go to a masjid and enjoy a Jummah, a khutbah, and enjoy that and see, like, what is this like to be in this environment? And you will come to realize that there are a lot of copy and paste, man. It's a lot of copy and paste going on there. Right, exactly. Linda said they tell you that astrology is bad, but the elites use it all the time. That's exactly my point. They don't want you to use what they know and what they use. And so I say, don't hold yourself into a box. You have this life to adventure and learn and expand and enjoy. Excuse me. We were taught a lot that that we have to all fit into certain categories and certain boxes. And if you grew up here, you have to be like this, or if you look like this, you have to be like that, or if you want to do this in your life, then you have to fit in this box, or, like, if you exist, you have to get married and have kids. Like, there's so many things that they expect you to stick yourself into, and I challenge that. And I challenge you to be inspired to say fuck that shit and not do it. I challenge you to be inspired to do what makes you feel good, to go with what excites you. When you think about something like, you want to climb a fucking mountain, or you want to learn how to garden, or you want to fucking ride a motorcycle, that shit sounds exciting to you, fucking do that shit. What is fear going to do but hold you back? Exactly. Crickets. You can't say shit because I'm right. So don't force yourself to sit in one place. Don't force yourself to only have one realm of knowledge. You can still love Jesus and learn about Muhammad. You can still love Muhammad and learn about Buddha. And so on and so forth, because there's so many religions and I don't know them all. So I'm not even going to pretend like I do. Please, I don't. I have a lot of knowledge, but I don't have it all. although I am tapped into infinite knowledge, because I am a part of that. All of y'all are. You are too. You can tap in just like I can. Sometimes you know shit and you don't know how you know shit, but you're like, I just know this. And for some reason, it's like, I don't have any proof that this is true, but I can just feel it's true. Because you're tapped into infinite awareness, infinite knowledge. You are infinite knowledge. Yeah. So don't limit yourself. How are you going to make yourself finite when you're infinite? Craziness. And that's how they get people, though, is fear, bro. Fear, man. Fear is one of the most powerful tactics that they can use on humans. Fear. And that's what they do with a lot of these religions. And again, I'm not here to judge anybody or change your mind, but I am here to challenge you to expand your mind, to inspire you to be inspired, to expand your awareness. And not to tell you that you have to change your belief system, but to give you the wisdom and the knowledge in other ways. Like, if you have expanded knowledge, you have compassion. And if you are any type of religion or any religious person of any religion, every religion has a base of compassion, or has that as one of their like pillar things, is that compassion. You're supposed to love the next person. You're supposed to love thy brothers and sisters. You're supposed to love the other humans. And in every religion that I have learned things about, you're supposed to love everyone, even if they don't believe the same way you do. Now, in some religions, they don't want you to commiserate with those people, though. They don't want you hanging out with them. They don't want you to, well, you can be amongst them, but you shouldn't spend all your time with them. Because a lot of religions want you to be sure to spend time with the people who have the same beliefs as you. And some of that is indoctrination. Some of that is programming, because then if you're around people who are, saying the same sayings and, things of that nature, you have a tendency to adopt that into your own life. And then it becomes second nature. And a little science lesson about our words and our frequencies that we use with our mouth. That frequency is something that's very powerful. So when you start to say, I am this or I am that, or you start to repeat something over and over again, it becomes literally, and legitimately, not literally is not the right word, because literally we use wrong all the time. And I apologize, because that's not the correct word. The correct word, it becomes an actual piece of your DNA. It becomes ingrained into your body, the water that flows through you, or that is you, it becomes a part of your cellular structure, because you are claiming it and you are repeating it over and over and over again. And that is a couple of things there. Psychology will even teach you that if you repeat things enough, your brain will just memorize that shit. And it's difficult for you to not say something. So, like, for example, we've all had so many things ingrained into our brains from, like I was talking about earlier, subliminal messaging in music, but also in TV, in commercials, which I didn't touch on those yet because I went off on a tangent with the music thing. But it's in commercials, it's in like the jingles. Oh my gosh, it's in logos. Like, they use so many things to train your brain to recognize them and to be attracted to them, to memorize them also. So like those jingles, although they're catchy, well, they're catchy on purpose. They have psychologists and psychiatrists, psychologists help them to create these jingles. They're not just, an average Joe off the street. I'm sure there are part of it as well, but there's definitely people on the team that know psychology and know how certain things affect a human brain, and with what desired effect they want, they're able to obtain, with the right tweaking, with the right words, with the right frequencies, with the right cadence, things of that nature. So, as I'm aware of that type of shit, you can that and avoid that as much as possible. Which I don't know if religious groups tell people to stop watching TV, but that's what the fuck they should be teaching people: to stop watching the zombie box, or at least be aware of the fact that you're being programmed. Once you become aware, it's less easy to program somebody. Liz says that that's how it was for me with religion. I was all over the place. I'm still, in a sense. Yeah. I mean, it's cool though. That's good because you're expanding your knowledge, your awareness, and again, compassion. You start to learn things in all these different religions. You realize that they have a lot of similarities, a lot of the same aspects, but then they also have a few things where you'll learn something new. You'll pick up a new little nugget of things that you're like, oh, I actually really love that about this religion. Like, and I'm going to take that with me. And I think that to me, that's like the best thing you can do with religion is to learn about it and take the nuggets that resonate with you and that you think are pertinent to your life, things that you can utilize in a positive manner and take those with you and just, stuck them in a little bag or you're in your inventory and take those along for the ride because again, like we were talking about earlier, when you learn certain nuggets of wisdom and knowledge, like they come to you when you need them. And then that's the same thing with, these religions, you'll learn these little pieces. And then when you need that aspect or you need that little bit of knowledge, it rises to the surface, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Commercials. Yeah. Like the Libby's commercial. Libby on your label, or what? Libby, or Libby on the label, and you want it on your table, or something like that. Yeah. Or how about everyone knows that da 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 da. Everybody knows what comes after that because even if you don't eat that stuff, which please don't eat that crap. Oh my God, please don't eat that. Please don't. Please do not do that to your divine temple. This is the house of God. In religion, how they talk about the house of God. This is your church. This is your house of God right here. This is your place of worship right here. Worship God. Yes. And feed and nourish this temple that holds God properly. Don't give it McDonald's. But anyways, everybody knows that da 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 shit and what comes after that. So that's the proof right there. And what do they say? The proof is in the pudding, darling. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Yeah, I feel like we jumped all over to a lot of subjects tonight, but they kind of flowed together and they kind of piggybacked off of one another. And it was clear that the things that I needed to say were needed, or what I said needed to be said and needed to be heard by somebody or somebodies. And I hope if anything resonated with you, I would love to hear about it. And if you learned anything tonight, I would love to hear about that as well. I appreciate love y'all so much. I could go on and talk if y'all want to sit and listen some more because I'm just like that. I got a lot to talk about in these types of aspects and realms. And I am one of those people who loves to learn. I am one of those nerds who deep dives on things and researches crap and doesn't just take things at face value, which is why I say I just saw all 1s and 8s. It's like the 10th and it says 8:08 on the clock. And then on here, it was like 108:08. That was pretty cool. Or 108:18. Anyways, so I'm one of those people that likes to deep dive on a lot of shit. So I have a lot of plethora of knowledge in this brain of mine. I don't know everything about a lot of things, but I know a little about a lot of things, if that makes sense. I don't know a lot about, I don't know how it goes, but I know a lot. I know a little bit about a lot of shit. I know enough about a lot of things because I love to learn. And I'm one of those people that asks a lot of questions. So that's why I tell you to question everything, because even if I say something to you, it doesn't matter what I learned, because what I learned is what I picked up. Do you see what I'm saying? I picked up certain things from what I read or from what I learned. So you have to go, you can take what I said and be like, huh, that's intriguing. I love that concept. I would like to learn more about that. And then do your own source of information, whether it's researching, whether it's talking to God, whether it's meditating, whether it's, fucking reading tea leaves, whatever you do your own research and find what resonates with you, because I'm not the end all. Nobody is the beginning and end all of knowledge. We each have our own experiences and opinions, which is what's so fucking dope again about building community, is that you get to be around people who have other walks of life, other experiences, other opinions, other skill sets, other knowledge that you can just really expand when you have people around you, especially people who are on the same shit that you're on, y'all. So I guess I brought us full circle with that, because for real, community is key, man. We really, 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 not to use a lack term, but we need each other right now. And I don't like to use lack terms. So I do want to say that right now, coming together would be our best interest, would be in our best interest. Let's say that. Cancel all of that. I do not consent. Coming together would be in our best interest. That would be ideal. Being able to begin to find humans that you fuck with, people that you feel you connect with, people that you feel like you can get along with, and that you can, you're not always going to have the same ideas. Now, remember that it's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to not have the same route to do something. It's okay. Matter of fact, not only is it okay, but I fucking celebrate that shit. See, a lot of things is they teach us to divide and to celebrate division, but they don't teach us that the celebration should be that it's beautiful that we're all different. These things that they divide us on and try to make it like it's bad that we're different. No, each one of us humans individually is different. We all have a whole different coding from one another, because your mission is not my mission. My path is not your path. So when you can when you can appreciate that in other people, you will learn a lot, and you'll get a lot further, because then now you're able to make moves that you couldn't make on your own. It's kind of like that Captain America shit. You put motherfuckers together, boop, boop, boop. Now we this big entity, and we can move. We can make moves. Like, you can do things I can't do, and vice versa. We don't have the same type of knowledge, experiences, skills, that type of shit. So, man, that's why I always say, every time I talk about community, it doesn't matter what your skill set is. Even if you think that you have the most, you may think that you have the most ridiculous skill that no one will ever need. I promise you that's not true. I promise you your skill is needed. Even the most ridiculous thing that you think is it's just this, it's nothing, it's insignificant. It's not. It's significant. It's significant. Because even if what your skill does is assist somebody else in something, that's fucking needed, bro. That's fucking needed. That's needed. Your skills are needed. Find your community, y'all. I'm telling you right now, it's time to find each other, to start building. And if you're looking for community, come kick it with me. Thursdays, we're at the Brookdale Library at 5 p.m. It's in Brooklyn Center. It's a nice library. This week, we're in the Creekside Room, which is a chill space. It's got some couches and some fucking like comfy chairs, and we're allowed to have food in that one. So if you want to bring a snack for yourself or to share, feel free. Please bring the kids, bring the family, bring your partners. Everyone is encouraged to attend. I may not be your community member in the small sense, like when but I can be a community member in the big sense. I may not be your village member, but we could be community members, or however that breaks down, so that however that breaks down properly. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, coming to these things, like, we're going to find the people that we most resonate with. And then that's going to be, y'all are going to end up doing your own thing, whether it's starting a garden in the city or buying land in the country and, living off grid. But come through. Come through. Hang out with us. Creekside Room at the Brookdale Library in Brooklyn Center. And stay tuned with me on that because the room might change depending on what they have available. Because sometimes somebody has the room already booked, so I'm not able to snag it. But like that Creekside room, for example, I think it's booked next week it's booked next week at 6:00. So we wouldn't be able to be there from 5 to 7 because then at 6:00 there's somebody there until like 9 or whatever time the library closes. But so we'll be in a different room next week. But I'll keep you all posted on that. Always, I do make an event and it is public, so feel free to look that up. It's called The Village Dash a Space to Connect. And so that's an easy way to find that. And it's also, I don't know if you can search just me, Melody Waters, and if you can find my events, because the only thing that's going to be on there is anything recent. Is only going to be the juice and that. So should be easy to find. And then also I do post on Facebook. So if you don't follow me, feel free to follow me on Facebook, Melody Waters. It's like melody.waters.94 if you need to type in the ya dig. That's how you would find me. But I'm pretty sure it's easy to find me. If you type in Melody Waters, I'm popping up. And not like that, but I'm saying I'm popping up. I'm popping up, y'all. So, yes, time to build community. Start wherever you're at, man. Start messy. Start scared. Start nervous. Start unsure. Just fucking start. Wherever you're at, you can start community where you are. If you're in another city, another state, somewhere else, if you're in another country, y'all see what's going on. It's going on everywhere. It's not just where we are, it's everywhere. So, it's time. Come together. Bring your people together. Unity is the key, man. Unity is what's going to beat this shit. So, on that note, I'm going to peace out. I hope y'all have a fabulous evening. I love y'all so much. Peace, love, and positive energy in all you do this week, in your journeys, travels, and interactions. I hope that your week is everything you want it to be or better. You know, all you can do is do your best every day. And every day that's going to look a little bit different, and that's okay. Just as long as you do your best in the moment that you can. You know what I mean? Have grace for yourself. Because when you have grace for yourself, you in turn have grace for others. And when you have compassion for yourself, you'll in turn have compassion for others. Because you'll find that although we are all perfect exactly how we are, and I say that because how you are is exactly how you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? So you're perfect exactly how you are. That doesn't mean that we aren't also expanding and growing and becoming, you know, the next level version of ourselves. So in that expansion and growth, which is not an overnight process, it's important that you have grace with yourself and patience with yourself and compassion with yourself. And also others, because there's going to be times where you are not always, you're not always like 100%, or you might feel like you have to express yourself a certain way around certain people, or, you know, but you're going to grow through all of those things. So, and other people will too, you know, sometimes people say things they don't mean because they're talking through trauma lenses. And, you know, sometimes you might say things you don't mean. That goes back to what we talked about with response and reaction a couple episodes ago. If you didn't see that one, I highly suggest it. It's a good lesson. But so just have grace with yourself so that you may have grace with others, and have compassion for yourself so that you may have compassion for others, and love yourself overflowingly so that you may have love for others. Whatever you do out here, be true to you, man. I love y'all so much. Have a fabulous week. I will see y'all next Monday right here. Same juice time, same juice channel. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love to have some new music. So if you are an artist and you want to send me some music, please send me your MP3s with your social media information, where you're from, and Is that everything? Yeah, to the juicebookings@gmail.com. All the information is right here in this ticker. Also, if you are a business, organization, a movement of some kind, I would love to chat with you. I'd love to have you on the show. I'd love to help support you and get you out to the community. Um, feel free to connect with me also on that. Again, send me with your social media information, your business information, a little bio would be nice. Where you're from, anything you'd like to share with me about what you're doing with your movement or your business is awesome. And then let's set something up. Let's have you come on the show, and I'd love to chat with you and just talk about what it is that you do. The juice is all about, community, and there's going to be a lot of facets to that. And some of that is business. Some of that is healing. Some of that is, the different shit that we'll talk about over the days and the times. So I am grateful that you guys are here with me on this journey. And if you would like to help support the juice, feel free to do that as well. I do have a couple ways that you can support. If you'd like to support monetarily, that is always super loved. And my Cash App and Venmo are both below. It's I am Melody Waters. Gratitude to anyone who does send. Some people, and people do send Cash Apps. So I do want to say gratitude to the people who do support the show and what I'm doing. I do really appreciate you, and you are seen. So gratitude. It lets me know that at least I am making a little impact, because that's the whole point. If I can just help one person, that's good. I would like to help more, because I feel like my mission is bigger than that, but it's got to start somewhere, right? So I'm grateful for even one. I love y'all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see y'all next Monday. I'm gonna play a song real quick, and then we finna peace out on this mug. Peace, y'all. Let's see, what should I play? I love this song right here, y'all. Rob Q. This song is called The Amazing, I think it's Lifestyle, because it doesn't show me the whole. Yeah, it doesn't show me. For some reason, it won't, like, even when I hover over it, it won't show me the whole title. Like, how rude, So anyways, Rob Q, he is a Minnesota artist. This song is called The Amazing Lifestyle, right here on The Juice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I love y'all. Have a great week. Peace.
Amazing, outstanding, incredible, so amazing, outstanding, incredible. God is good. Always moving, I stay in motion, staying busy and never coasting. Finish line is what I'm approaching. Living water, it be the potion. Refuel, fire inside ignited. In the present I am delighted. For the future I am excited. Negativity not invited. Nah, it irritates me when you complain. See a need, feel a need, don't be a lame. To get to glory there will be pain. From surrender I will refrain. Overall I know I'm blessed. Let the whole world know I'm blessed and highly favored. Amazing, yeah. Amazing, outstanding, incredible, so amazing, outstanding, incredible. God is good. Wake up in the morning and it's just praise. I got the feeling this is gonna be a blessed day. All glory be to God, be the best way to live. It's a lifestyle, not a catchphrase. My attitude is I'm unstoppable. Gratitude makes optimism possible.
Want my soul pure gold, that's the pinnacle. Finna show that the flow cold like the winter snow. Minnesota weather be dipping and tripping. That's why I be dipping and tripping. Quick to vacate, get away any day. On another flight, you would think I'm in the NBA. Anyway, as I roll through the neighborhood, thinking about how to do more for the greater good. I'm just trying to do what my savior would till I pass away in the minute box made of wood. Amazing.
So amazing, outstanding, incredible, so amazing, outstanding, incredible. God is good. I must take this praise break just to say thanks. Appreciate your love.